Hello. Getting clients has always been an issue for me. I have been in this industry, running this agency and now consulting since the last 5, 6 years in total. I was in an animation agency, like I started an animation studio where I had a partner who was handling the clients acquisition part for me. And he was getting clients through networking, outreach, um, manually following up with all of these people, like cold calling, all of that stuff, cold emailing, and I was trying to get clients through that. And we were getting clients who were paying us like per project. So animation is a per project service. So people were paying us like around $350, $400 per project. That's it, right? And this was a one-time payment. So the moment the project ends, we had to just start looking for new clients. We had constantly, we had to keep on looking for clients again and again. Till that point of time, when this partner of mine, he was handling all of the client acquisition for me. So I had like zero idea, like absolute no idea about acquiring clients at that point. I was the builder in the business. I was actually handling the technical part. I was managing the team. I was handling the creative part of the business. So I had no idea when it comes to like client acquisition and acquiring clients for my business. So there was one time I still remember. I mean, when we had this agency, we were just like in college in my second year, third year, and we were sort of surviving. We were earning some money. We were we were able to take care of all of our daily expenses, and we definitely had big dreams with this particular agency that we were running. But I mean, there was zeal, but there was no execution at that level at that point because we were not that serious, right? We had the ambition, but we were not that serious. We were not serious action takers at that time. So we couldn't scale that agency after a certain level. Like it hit a like sort of cap, revenue cap, and like over that, like we couldn't go over that cap, right? We couldn't scale our agency above that particular revenue cap. And there were multiple reasons to that, but the primary reason was we had to constantly keep on finding new clients again and again. And I was totally dependent on this particular partner of mine who was getting clients for me. And then there was one point where we had to decide. There was like college placements, and we had to decide whether we should go for a job or should we pursue the business and everything. And at this point of time, this person, he had to make a very hard decision of dropping out of the partnership and actually going for a job. He's doing really well right now. He's earning good in his job and he's doing well. He has a family and all, and he's very happy. But I also took a hard decision of pursuing my business, right? I like I was literally in confusion for the whole month. Um, it was a hard time, but I definitely took a decision because I really was serious about growing this business. But the moment I took the reins in my hand, the complete control of my business in my hands, I quickly realized the weakness in my business, which was client acquisition. Now, earlier, even if this partner of mine, he was handling the client acquisition, he was not doing that great job, right? There were not a lot of clients, like there was not a constant inflow of clients. He had to constantly keep on chasing prospects, right? So we didn't have a system to acquire clients. And the moment I took the reins in my hand, I understood that we need to have a system because I cannot focus on both of these things, like product and sales. These are two main components when it comes to scaling your business, right? I mean, there are multiple other things, but let's just narrow it down to these two. So if I'm a builder, if I'm focusing on the product, how can I focus on building us, how can I focus on talking to the prospects and trying to close clients and all of that stuff? I can just do either of those things, right? So that's when I realized, and I wanted to scale my business like with as lean team as possible. I didn't want like 10 to 15 employees in my and a big office and a lot of liabilities, electricity bill, rent, office salaries. I didn't want that. I mean, nothing against that type of business, but that was never my goal. I always wanted a business which was again an internet business, a lean business with maybe maximum 2 or 3 team members, all working remotely from their homes, and a system, an automated system that works automatically, like by itself, without any human intervention, without, of course, this was a dream, but without me even lifting a finger, right? I wanted a cash printing machine. And that's when I realized that I need to have a system to acquire clients which runs on automation. So a lot of us, we just need, like, this is the biggest problem. All of us needs clients, right? And very few realize that we actually need high paying clients, because it's honestly impossible to survive when your clients are just paying you like to $200 or $300. That's it. It's impossible to survive. You have to charge a high ticket, and especially when you're acquiring clients through paid acquisition. So the moment I understood the importance of having a client acquisition system, the creator side of me, kicked in. All of my creative juices started flowing, and I just shifted all of my focus on creating this client acquisition system. So, and this was the deal that I made with myself. Like, for the next 3 to 6 months, I'll just focus on building this client acquisition system. And then the moment this client acquisition system starts working and gets automated, and I start getting leads and clients automatically, then I'll start focusing on um, improving the product as well. Okay. And I tried out so many things. I purchased courses, I purchased masterminds, I got mentors. I tried this funnel, that funnel, sales funnels, paid ads, cold emails, cold calling, this niche, that niche, US mortgage niche, um, dental marketing niche. There are so many things that I tried. And after wasting so much time, not wasting, I would say investing. So after putting in so much time in experimentation, constant experimentation, I understood the real secret of acquiring high paying clients. Of course, there are a lot of other factors involved here, and I cannot tell you how many things I have tried till now to get to this point where I have a system which is getting me clients every single day with lowest cost per acquisition. If you're not aware, we are actually using paid ads as our primary method to acquire clients right now. And even with that, we have the lowest cost of customer acquisition or client acquisition, right? So, of course, there are a lot of technicals, a lot of strategies involved in this. I'm not going to cover that in this particular video, but the very important thing that's, again, very important for all of you who are looking for clients, is the hidden psychology behind getting these high paying clients. And without knowing this, doesn't matter whatever system you try, it doesn't matter whatever sales funnel you run for yourself, you would just not be able to get long term sustainable, you know revenues. You would not be able to generate a sustainable um, income stream or a stream of clients. You would not be able to create a stable client acquisition system for yourself, right? So we're going to talk about the fundamentals. Now we're going to talk about the hidden psychology of, again, why people buy from you for a high ticket. Why do they even, first of all, why do, if we're going to address two questions here, first question is, why do they even buy anything, right? And second, why do they pay high ticket prices? These are the two major questions that we need to understand. And we're going to need to go beyond, beneath the layers, dig deeper and understand the hidden psychology so that we can implement that and create a system out of it. So the first question is, why do they even buy in the first place? Yeah. So what you need to understand is, whenever you have a product that you're trying to promote, in order to say yes to this product, Your prospects have to say a lot of no's to a lot of things in their life. You know, they might, I mean, let's assume that the price of your product is around $1,000. So they might need to say no to a $800 watch that they wanted to buy, right? They might have to say no to a sometimes a special date that they were planning with their girlfriend, right? They might have to say no to an investment that they wanted to make. They might even have to say no to their next month's rent. You see my point? So you think getting this product is just one decision for them. It's not. In order to get this one yes, in order to convince themselves that okay, they need to buy this, they have to convince themselves that they might have to sacrifice on multiple other things. So their watch, the date, the investment plan, the rent, sometimes they have to compromise their meals or their standard of living for the next few months. you know do you understand the burden? Okay, and we are specifically talking about products which are like, again, um, when we are charging very high, right? So this principle is definitely the same in any case, like in case of any products, even if it's a $27 product. Even in that case, people might have to think, they have to say no to a lot of other things as well. So again, it all comes down to understanding this basic fundamental of buying psychology. So the only way we can leverage this is by understanding. Now, as we have understood that in order to get one yes, they have to say no to a lot of things, right? So we have understood this. But when they say yes to your thing, when they say yes to your product, now the product might be able to enable multiple yeses in their life. You see? So if they are make if they are saying no to all of these other things and saying yes to your product and like basically buying your product, that product should enable multiple other yeses in their life. And these yeses that the product is enabling, these yeses should outweigh the weightage of the no's. To keep it simple, I'll just give you a simple example. If they were planning to get a $500 watch earlier, right? And your program is, let's say, it costs like around $600, let's say your product, whatever you're selling. Now, if they have to say no to this particular watch in order to purchase your program, then this program should enable them to get a $1,000 watch. I hope you understood this with this analogy, right? And that is when they find that this is a very logical decision to purchase and opt in into your product, whatever program you're selling, right? The second question is, why do they even pay high ticket prices, right? We understood why do they buy, but why do they even pay high ticket prices? How much will they pay depends on just one thing: how big or urgent is the problem that you're solving. It's that simple. How big and urgent is the problem that you're solving for them, right? So, urgency is the biggest thing when it comes to marketing. Okay. And I'm not talking just about those fancy urgency generating tactics and all that stuff. I'm not a big fan of that. But yeah, you have to understand all these things from a fundamental level, from a human buyer psychology level. That is very important. Urgency is the biggest thing, right? Now, how much can you charge? As I told you, how much you can charge depends just on how urgent the problem, how crucial the problem is for them, right? Now, all we need to do is, the moment we understand that urgency is biggest factor, all we need to do is engineer how to create maximum urgency, right? How to create or tap into maximum urgency. So there are just two ways to create urgency, right? There are just two ways. First is what we call as emotional, just a minute, emotional urgency. And the second one is what I call as the logical urgency, right? I'll not waste a lot of time in here. Just so you understand, I'll give you a simple definition. Emotional urgency is when you make them feel so motivated, so inspired that they just want, not need, want to buy the product right now. They want to buy the product right now. So emotional urgency taps into the wants. We make them want your product, right? And then logical urgency is basically what is the weight of the yeses that your product will enable them to get, right? How much outcome can your product get logically, right? Another very important component is how many other options are available in the market. Let's assume you are selling a fitness program. Well, in that case, the only thing that will come in their mind when it comes to making decisions is that, hey, I saw a couple of other ads earlier. I think there are multiple other options. I don't need to purchase this right now. I think I should explore more and find the best deal for myself. That is when it's not that urgent for them. You lose the urgency, right? So, how to make them feel that the product that you're selling is scarce and this is the time to purchase this right now, or you'll just lose it, right? So, logical urgency taps into the needs. So, wants and needs, we need both of these components in order to create actual urgency for people to buy from you at a very, very high ticket. And this is what I tapped into as well using whatever sales funnels. The technicals are not important here. Okay, now that we understand the psychology, let's understand how to engineer a solution that creates a sense of urgency in your prospect's mind, in your audiences to buy from you right now at whatever price you're asking for. You think you're trying to solve a problem for someone, but what 90% people are doing in the market is that they're just trying to copy what has already worked. They're trying to find out, they're trying to recreate the offers that their competitors have already proven, right? They've already proved that they work, right? So they're just copying other competitors and the solution that they offer. And copying is not bad. Again, it gives you a head start, of course. And I have always been a big, big appreciator of never reinventing the wheel. So whenever I get a new client, I just ask them directly copy the top competitors in their industry, just to instantly start getting some instant cash flow. And then we can invest some time and money. We can have the headroom to experiment more, right? So copying is not bad. It gives you a head start, but the real money lies in solving the unsolved problems, right? So I'll just give you a simple example here. Let's say the problem that you're solving is people are not getting clients. So you're going to help them get clients, right? The solution is whatever. Let's assume that you are a media buying agency. You're running ads for these clients, right? So you're running ads to help them get clients. But the problem is that your market already has a lot of media buying agencies who are trying to help the exact same people solve the exact same problem of not getting clients, right? So if there are so many, and it's not just about all of the media buying agencies, I'm specifically pinpointing to the experienced ones. I'm specifically talking about those agencies who have actually proven good results for their clients, right? So out of, let's say, 1,000 agencies, there must be at least 5 to 10 who are the best, right? So if there are 10 agencies Okay, I just shrink down the numbers for easier calculations. There must be much more. But if there are agencies who are providing good results, they have experience, they're doing good work, then why is not everybody getting results? Why are still why are there still some people who are just not getting any clients at all? Why are still some people failing? Even if they have tried running ads, even if they've tried hiring the best media buyers, why are they still not getting any clients? So what we do is we go one level deeper. Why is this problem not yet solved when there are so many expert media buyers, right? So when you start thinking, so understand what we're doing here is we're finding out the real problem, the core problem. Usually the problem that we see is never the problem, because if it's that easy to see that problem, there must be multiple others who are seeing the same problem and they're trying to solve the same problem at the same level. We don't want that, because that's what creates a saturated market. So a real entrepreneur is not the one who solves the biggest problem. A real entrepreneur is the one who finds the biggest problem. Entrepreneurs are problem finders. This is what we need to understand. So we just go one level deeper here. Why are media buying services not generating results? Why is everybody not getting clients? And why has media buying not become a utility? Because usually what happens is, if a service or a product is solving a problem sure shot with 100% accuracy, that product becomes a utility, like vegetables, like water purifier, right? So we just go one level deeper, and we list down why are people not getting results. So people might be afraid to invest a lot of money on ads. Maybe they are just not sure whether they would be able to close. They just don't know what to offer and how to charge a high ticket. And these are basically all the couple of reasons. We'll get all of these reasons when you do proper market research, when you talk to people. I just listed all of these down for your reference. Maybe they're just not able to get qualified leads via ads, right? So these could be couple of level 1 problems. So let's go one level deeper. Let's ask ourselves, let's assume this is the problem, right, on level 1, which is, again, maybe they're not just able to get qualified leads, right? So you must have heard a lot of clients are complaining, you're not getting, if you're a media buyer, usually this is what clients do. They complain, hey, I'm not getting good quality leads. You're running ads, but I think you're not targeting but well. You're not targeting the right kind of people. They blame everything on you, that you are not able to get good quality leads for them. You must have heard about this. So let's go one level deeper. Why are they not getting good quality leads? Why are they getting bad quality leads even when an expert media buyer is running their ads? Now we dig a one level deep here and try to find out why are they not getting good quality leads. So these could be a couple of answers here. Maybe their landing page copywriting is not attracting the right audiences. The lead magnet is resonating with the wrong audiences. This could be a problem, right? Maybe it could be it does not necessarily need to just be a technical problem. It could be a psychological problem as well. Maybe they are too nervous in front of the camera, which just leads to get bad quality attention. I don't know, could be a problem, I don't know. So you have to find out, and you can keep doing this exercise, keep on doing one level deeper till you find a problem which you can solve and create your unique differentiator around it. You can keep on asking such questions until you find a problem which you can actually create your differentiator around. So in our case, what we did was, again, I asked myself the same question: why are people not getting clients? Because I am also in the client acquisition niche. And the only thing that I observed was people are just too afraid to invest their money on ads. So because of which they just do not scale their budget. And with very less budgets, the only type of campaign that they can run is a lead generation campaign or a views campaign. And again, it does not get them good results. We don't just want leads, we want sales, right? And for that, we need, like, in my case, in my In my scenario, the problem was psychological, the fear of running ads. So I created an angle, a differentiator for myself by saying you can run ads for free, right? Low cost client acquisition. That is the angle that I took for myself, right? So this is how you go deep down and understand the core problem in your market. What is stopping them from getting results, right? And if the problem is big enough, and if you think that you can solve that problem better than anyone else, I mean, you don't even need to do that better than anyone else. You just need to be the identifier here. Because again, if you have to ask so many questions to yourself, and if the problem is unsolved, and the moment you find out that core, the hidden problem, you already have an edge. You have a early mover advantage. So this is how I want all of you to think as an entrepreneur. You have to be the best problem finder. Solving is not an issue. Problems are usually hidden. That is the problem. Yeah, so that's that. And it's very important. When we are doing this activity here, we are not actually niching down, right? I hate niches, first of all. I literally hate the idea of niches. I prefer targeting one single problem and scaling the solution for that particular problem only. And this is why I hate niches, because when we solve one problem, one specific problem, like a core problem, we are actually, expanding our target audiences. Because let's assume in my case, I'm helping people with low cost client acquisition. That's my specialty. So I don't need to niche down on, okay, I'm just helping coaches or I'm just helping consultants. I don't need to do that. Everybody who wants the exact solution that I'm putting forward, which is low cost client acquisition, they'll reach out to me. I'll tell them that this is the system that I'm using. And if you think that this is something that might not help you, do not join the program. It's that simple, right? Because solution, there should be just one solution which is solving just one problem. Forget about niches. Forget about, micro niche and all that jargons. Don't do that. Trust me. This will just end up confusing you even more and you'll get nowhere at the end. So that's it from my side. I hope this video was valuable for all of you. Go to the description section if you want to, a link to this document. And apart from that, I'll see you in the next one.